I hear a lot online right now that your 9 to 5 job is somehow the enemy. Like the only way to live a fulfilling life is to quit your job as fast as possible, start a business, become an entrepreneur, and move to Bali or some shit. And then talk online about how amazing it is to escape the matrix. And look, I'm all for entrepreneurship and building something on your own, but I think a lot of people are missing the bigger picture here. What I really want you to get out of this video is that your 9 to 5 job is actually one of the most powerful tools you have to build your financial freedom if you use it correctly. If you want to live a different life than most people and eventually have the flexibility to work wherever you want, whenever you want, and on the things that actually interest you, then your 20s and early career years are the time to be grinding your ass off at your 9 to 5 job and taking advantage of every single opportunity that comes with it. That means utilizing the company retirement matches, taking advantage of the benefits that a lot of people completely ignore, developing skill sets that will make you a lot more valuable in the job market later down the road. And you need to be stacking experience that you simply can't replicate if you quit your 9 to 5 too early. Your job is where you learn how businesses will operate, how people and teams function, how your projects get executed in the real world, and how real money is made through successful businesses. And you can learn about what it's like to work under this effective business model. All at the same time, your job shouldn't be the only thing you're doing. If you really want to accelerate your life financially, you need to start using your 5 to 9 outside of your work to build things that you can eventually turn into something bigger. For me personally, that looks like building this YouTube channel, learning how to communicate ideas better, and consistently putting content out even on days when I honestly don't feel like doing it. I am a firm believer and I know that these small efforts compound over time. So as we dive into this video, it's important for you to realize that your 9 to 5 job is not the enemy. In a lot of ways, it's actually a blessing for you. We live in a time where you can work for large companies, gain valuable experience, build a network of smart people around you, and earn a steady income that can be invested into your future. If you use that opportunity correctly instead of resenting it, your job can become the exact thing that funds your freedom instead of the thing that holds you back. And as a side note here, I started playing some Black Ops 2, and I've really enjoyed this Call of Duty, and I personally think it is my favorite one. So let's dive into how to best utilize your 9 to 5. So, the very first thing you have to do if you want to actually maximize your 9 to 5 job is learn how to invest and fully use the benefits that come with working for a company. A lot of people completely overlook this part in their career, but this is honestly one of the biggest financial advantages you have early on. Use your company retirement program, understand how the match works, and make sure you know when the vesting period is so you're not accidentally leaving free money on the table if you decide to leave early. And another thing that people seriously underestimate is the HSA. In my opinion, the HSA is one of the best retirement accounts out there, but a lot of people either don't understand it or they just don't use it. The reason it's so powerful is because it has a triple tax advantage. The money you put in grows tax free, it goes in tax free, and if you use it for medical expenses, it can come out tax free as well. This is a huge benefit that goes underutilized for people working in big companies that offer an HSA. I'll give you my own example here, just so you can see how much of a difference investing wisely with a 9 to 5 can make a huge impact early in your financial journey. Over my first 4 years of working my 9 to 5, I've built a 401k account that's worth over $180,000 and an HSA account that's over $16,000. And there is absolutely no way that that would have happened if I quit my 9 to 5 job early or if I had not have taken advantage of the benefits that came with my 9 to 5. Now both of these accounts are going to compound nicely, and the 401k will probably hit the $1 million mark before I know it. And that HSA will grow substantially, and I'll have a ton of tax-free money for when my back is breaking and I'm some 80-year-old dude and I need money to pay for the medical expenses and I don't have to dip into any of my other accounts. So before you start stressing about side hustles, businesses, or trying to build 10 different income streams, just make sure that you actually have your investing foundation locked in first at your 9 to 5. Later in this video, I'm going to talk about what you can do from your 5 to 9 outside of your job to build additional income, But none of that stuff matters if you're not consistently investing and building a good foundation with your 9 to 5 benefits. The second thing you need to know if you really want to use your 9 to 5 as a weapon is focus on building your network and learning as many skills as you possibly can through your job. A lot of people underestimate how valuable this part of your career actually is, and this is where you start stacking experience that pays you for the rest of your life. I like to think of this stage almost like you're playing a video game and you're just collecting XP and leveling up your character. When you first start out in your career, you're basically a noob. You're level 1 in this Call of Duty. You got no guns unlocked yet. You don't know much, you're still trying to figure things out, and that's completely normal. But that's exactly why it's so important to surround yourself with people who have already been doing this for 20 or 30 years. Go talk to those boomers, go talk to those unks at work who have seen everything, go ask them all the questions, and pick their brain about what they've learned over their careers. At the same time, make an effort to build relationships with leadership and the people who are a few steps ahead of you in their careers and the people that are in the position that you want to be in later down the road. Pay attention to how they think, how they solve problems, and how they communicate. All that stuff is incredibly valuable because those are the kinds of skills that eventually make you a much bigger asset in any company that you work for. And when you start combining this with the first step of investing and building your financial foundation, you can start to see how these early years are really about building momentum for you. You're stacking your investments on top of each other, you're building new skills, and you're expanding your network all at the same time while you're working your 9 to 5. So don't get too caught up in the future or feel like you're behind because you're still grinding through the early stages of your career and when you're in your 20s. Everyone has to go through this phase. This is the part of the journey where you're building the foundation that everything else later in your life is going to be sitting on top of. And the third thing you need to do if you want to use your 9 to 5 as a weapon is start figuring out what you actually want to become in your career and in your life. Your early career years are really the time where you begin shaping that direction. You start asking yourself questions like, do I want to become a technical expert who's incredibly good at solving problems? Or do I want to be able to move more towards leadership where I'm managing teams? Personally, I think a lot of men are naturally wired to lead in some capacity, but leadership can show up in a lot of different ways. Some people lead through technical mastery, while they go become the go to expert that everyone relies on to solve difficult problems. Other people lead by managing teams, coordinating projects, helping groups of people execute something. The only real way you start figuring this out is by actually putting yourself in situations where you take on the responsibility. That means volunteering for challenging projects, stepping up when something difficult needs to be done, and learning how to work with and guide other people through problems at your 9 to 5. These experiences start to reveal where your strengths are and what kind of path that might make the most sense for you. At the same time, you should always be sharpening your technical excellence because those skills will create leverage later on in your career. When you become very good at what you do, that opens doors to higher paying opportunities, whether that's promotions within your company or even new opportunities at other companies down the road. But the key thing is that you have to avoid falling into the trap of just going through the motions every day at your 9 to 5. When people get too comfortable and stop pushing themselves to grow, that's when they end up stuck in the exact same position for years without moving forward. Your 9 to 5 should be a place where you're constantly developing, improving, and preparing yourself for bigger opportunities in the future. And the last way you need to start using your 9 to 5 as a weapon is being intentional with what you do from your 5 to 9 after work. If you really want to get ahead in life financially or build something different than the average person, then the hours outside of your job matter just as much as the hours you spend at work. And I alluded to this earlier in the video. This only works if you have a good foundation built first. Your 9 to 5 provides you the stability, the income, the foundation, but your 5 to 9 is where you can start building things that might eventually change your life. That could be learning new skills, building a side business, creating content, or experimenting with different ways to earn income outside of your primary job. For me, that looks like this YouTube channel, putting in time, learning how to communicate my ideas, coming up with video ideas like this one, and consistently trying to improve the quality of the content that I put out. I also do things like dog sit on Rover to bring in a little bit of extra income also on the side. And I'm working to build that business up as well. Where a lot of people fall behind is that they finish work, go home, and the rest of the night just disappears in front of them. They sit on the couch, they watch TV, scroll on their phone, and before they know it, the entire evening is gone. And look, there's nothing wrong with relaxing sometimes, but if every single night looks like this, then it becomes really hard to move your life forward. Those few hours you have after work might not seem like much in the moment, but when you stack them day after day, week after week, year after year, that time compounds just like money does. And the skills you build compound just like money does. And sometimes the things you build during these hours after your 9 to 5 end up becoming far bigger than you would have ever expected. So that's all I have for this video. Give this video a like if you are looking to use your 9 to 5 as a tool to help boost you towards financial freedom. And comment down below what you've liked so far about working your 9 to 5. As always, thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you all in the next one.